And through the drifts the snowy cliffs did send a dismal sheen, nor shapes of men nor beasts we ken, the ice was all between.
Welcome, guys, to another Top 10. This week's Top 10 is Top 10 Timmy artifacts. What's Timmy? Well, the Magic the Gathering has this Timmy Johnny Spike theory, and the Timmy of the Magic the Gathering group is supposed to be the type of person who's basically a green mage, someone who just loves big creatures, big spells, just loves huge swings, and doesn't really care about winning, doesn't care about synergy, just loves having fun playing Magic the Gathering. And not to say that Spikes and Johnnies don't love having fun, but to Timmy is just more of a simple, carefree attitude about Magic the Gathering. And they have special kinds of Magic cards that they like, and here's 10 artifacts that Timmy's like. So without further ado, number 10. The Chromis Memorial. Yeah, a lot of these cards are just going to cost a huge amount. Timmy's just don't care. Chroma's Memorial is just smashes everything with other cards. It's 7 mana. Creatures you control have flying, first strike, vigilance, trample, haste, protection from black and red. It's basically the stats of a Chroma when she was just first printed. Not the red one, the white one. I would recommend this card in Green Ramp, in Elf Ball, in Eldrazi-tron, and Green-tron. Heck, I might even put this card in the sideboard of regular Tron. I would pay like 3 mana for Knighthood, which gives all creatures first strike. And this is just a little bit more, and it just gives your creatures everything. The haste is really big. It means that you could kill your opponent in just one attack from the second you play your creatures. Protection from black and red gives a protection against burn spells or spot removal. Flying means your opponent probably won't block. The rest, the first strike, the trample, not so much helpful. But God, I love this card. It's amazing that people forgot about it. Number 9. Mirror Battlesphere. This card still sees play. Oh, what a bad expansion symbol. Card still sees play in vintage decks because of Mishra's Workshop can add 3 colorless mana to your mana pool, which means that the 7 mana isn't that bad. It's a huge creature. When it comes to battlefield, you get 4 mirror tokens, or Mire tokens. I'm just going to say mirror just for fun. Whenever it attacks, you can tap X untapped mirror you control. If you do, it gets +X/+0 until end of turn and deals X damage to the defending player. What's cool with this card? Well, if you have, say, a Chromis Memorial, which gives it vigilance, attacking doesn't cost it to tap, you can tap itself to its own ability while it's attacking. So you can tap not just the 4 mirror you have, but you can tap itself if it has vigilance. And that makes it 9/7. It's pretty cool. So usually it's just an 8/7. Plus it deals 4 damage immediately, so it's kind of like a 12/7 for 7 mana. That's really good stats. Also, let's say if you have a Chromis Memorial, the mirror also have vigilance, so you can attack with the 4 mirror with Chromis Vengeance. And so they're kind of like 4/2/2s in that way, because they're doing damage with Mirror Battlesphere, and they're doing damage by attacking by themselves. Show you how cool a Chromis Memorial is. Number 8 is, oh my gosh, Wormcoil Engine. Wormcoil Engine's Death Touch Lifelink, basically every ability that a Chromis Memorial doesn't have. If you combine Death Touch with Trample, you only have to deal 1 damage to the opposing creature, and then the rest automatically gets dealt to the opponent. So blocking with Death Touch Trample is basically pointless. It saves 1 damage. When it dies, you get a 3/3 colorless worm creature with Death Touch, and a 3/3 with Life Touch. So any kind of like Dark Banishing spell, just spot removal, doesn't get rid of the 6/6, and then you need 2 more spot removal spells to get rid of the 3/3s. If you just trade with like a Primeval Titan or something with Wormcoil Engine, not only does it spawn 2 3/3s, but the Death Touch one could also kill another Primeval Titan. So the amount of work needed to kill Wormcoil Engine is crazy. Also, because this is a good lifelink creature, it works in all 5 colors. It's actually in Travis Wu's Ninja Bear Delver deck. So mono blue aggro can have lifelink to fight burn. Every single color has lifelink to fight burn. This is kind of why Tron is so much of a troublesome archetype, is because burn doesn't take Tron down because of Wormcoil Engine. Alright. Number 7. Duplicant. 6 colorless. 2/4. It could copy a Wormcoil Engine. Comes into play, you can remove target non-token creature from the game. As long as it's a creature card, as a creature card is imprinted on Duplicant, it has that card's power, toughness, creature types. It's still a shapeshifter. You can just ignore that last sentence. It doesn't do anything. This is a real hard card to understand, because it's really 2 abilities. One is it exiles any creature on the board, yours or your opponent's, non-token though. If the creature gets exiled in that way, then the Duplicant copies his stats. If the creature doesn't get exiled in that way, so your opponent just destroys his own creature in response to Duplicant's ability on the stack, it's still a 2/4. So no matter how many things go wrong, it's still at least a 2/4 creature for 6 mana. What makes it hard to understand is because it exiles a creature, it doesn't follow the same cards as the clone type spells. For example, if you duplicate a level up creature, the level up creature gets exiled and all the level up counters gets removed from the creature while it's in the exile zone. So you don't get any stat bonuses from that. Also, if you have any creatures that say, oh, it gets +1/+1, if you control a forest or a swamp, it doesn't copy those abilities either. So it doesn't actually copy the opposing card's power and toughness. And then the rules for that's really strange. I've read that Duplicant will copy Keldon Warlords, the Star.Stars power and toughness, and will change because of that. I haven't tested it myself. So yeah, a really hard card to understand, but if you're playing like Tron, you can just tap your Tron mana and you can exile any creature. And you could just get a giant fatty out of it. Number 6. I've never seen children so happy than when they're holding a Soul Ring. Magic players of all ages just love Soul Ring. It's 1 colorless and it makes 2 colorless. So this is actually a chief complaint in Commander, because it's a 100-card deck, which means you never get your own Soul Ring, and your opponent always gets his Soul Ring. And it's turn 1, you play Soul Ring. Turn 2, you can play a land and tap Soul Ring and get a 4-mana creature on turn 2. Absolutely absurd. You can get like a Sarah Angel on turn 3. A 5 casting cost card on turn 3. It's no wonder why this card got restricted, but the best part about Soul Ring is it's only in an uncommon. And that means that it's affordable enough for kids to have in their decks. And its power rating is through the roof. It's easy to say why Soul Ring's the favorite card of a lot of Magic players. So, next up we have, you'll never guess this one, Prototype Portal, number 5. It was a hard one picking Prototype Portal, but basically when it enters the battlefield, you can exile an artifact card from your hand. You can pay X, you create a token that's a copy of the exiled card. X is the converted mana cost of that card. So you can have just an army of fatties. You can have just pay 6 mana, just have a Wormcoil Engine every single turn. So it's as bad as Panoptic Mirror, basically. And Panoptic Mirror is 5 mana. And Panoptic Mirror got banned in Commander because you could Panoptic Mirror under Time Warps underneath it. So you can do turn 5, Panoptic Mirror. And then during your upkeep, before you even draw, you just tap out all of your islands, Time Warp. Your opponent's expected to concede. This one's a little bit more fair. Not only can it just copy fatties like Wormcoil Engine, you can also just pay 1 mana and copy Soul Ring forever. Or even a better idea, you can pay 0 tap. You can create a token of Darksteel Citadel. Because Darksteel Citadel is an artifact land. And yeah, all artifact lands have a casting cost of 0 because there's nothing in the top right hand corner. So you can create a land immediately, which makes it better than a Journeyer's Kite. I'm surprised why this doesn't see any play at all. What a terrible expansion symbol. There we go. Scars of Mirrodin. Alright, coming up at number 4. Altar of Shadows. This card got me a 5-1 victory in Mirrodin draft. This amazing card, 7 mana, destroys a creature. So getting this in draft as my bomb, it's kind of like drawing 2 cards a turn, except you'll never mill yourself to death because you're only drawing 1 card a turn. And it adds black mana to your mana pool for each charge counter on Altar of Shadows. Mana burn's gone now, which means this card's gotten a whole lot better. You don't have to spend the black mana you get, and it doesn't have to be in a black deck either. This can't be in a commander deck, but I could see this in a Tron deck easily, and then just shooting down your opponent's creatures every single turn, getting more and more black mana. You could save up to like an Emrakul or something. Number 4. Also, this is like the same card. Predator Flagship. I'd call it a tie. It's 7 mana, destroy a creature. This one can boost your entire army though. 2 colorless target creature gains flying until end of turn. It's like a flying carpet for your whole team. Number 3, everflowing chalice. Hey, it's a fixed version of Soul Ring. For 4 mana, it's like a Sisay's Ring, or for 6 mana, it's like a Thran Dynamo. But with a Tron deck, Everflowing Chalice, you could tap for 4 mana, or 5 mana, or 6 mana. It enters the battlefield with a charge counter on it for each time it was kicked. It has multi-kicker. The best part is you can use proliferate cards like Tezzeret's Gambit and just keep putting more and more charge counters on Everflowing Chalice after it comes into play. This is really good for like an infinite mana deck if you're not really a Timmy. But for the Timmy and me, it's just great for just playing Eldrazi cards. You can spend 6 or 8 mana. You can get the 4 colorless you need, or 3 colorless you need, in order to play your big Eldrazi creatures. Coming at number 2, Sundering Titan. This makes goblins the best creature type in all of Vintage. It's really, really hard to explain. Because your goblins in Vintage, you can tap and put an artifact in play into the graveyard, and puts a card from the graveyard into play. Forget exactly what the card is. But you can just do turn 1, you can just play a goblin and a mox, and then turn 2, somehow put Sundering Titan to your graveyard, either like some kind of entomb spell or a frantic search kind of spell. And then you put Sundering Titan in play, and you bomb both of your opponent's lands. And hopefully you've designed your deck so Sundering Titan doesn't bomb your lands. But if you do, maybe it just bombs like 1 of your lands and 2 of your opponent's lands. If you have the same basic land types as your opponent does, it just won't hurt your land types. You can always pick your opponent's. Also, it doesn't only hit basic lands. It also hits dualies. It's lands with basic land types in them. So the dual lands have 2 land types in each one. So if you have like 2 scrub lands, you can target 1 scrub land for its plains value and 1 scrub land for its swamp value, and destroy 2 scrub lands with 1 Sundering Titan. Also, when it dies, destroys the lands again. So after you destroyed, like even in mid-game, you destroy half your opponent's lands. If your opponent top decks the removal for Sundering Titan, he loses the rest of his lands, so you just might as well concede. Also, as I mentioned, it's like a 7/10 body, so it just kills your opponent in 3 turns. Number 1, another tie. I couldn't really pick which one it was. Goodness. Platinum Angel, Platinum Napoleon. Platinum Angel was like the card intended for Tooth and Nail. Tooth and Nail is 7 mana, Entwine 2 more mana, so basically a 9 mana spell. Search your library for 2 creature cards, put them into play. Came out during Mirrodin. Platinum Angel is also from Mirrodin. It's got the Mirrodin expansion symbol right there. You can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win the game. Plus it has flying, so it has an evasion ability. So you just play it and your opponent just concedes. And then Platinum Napoleon, if you're a little bit more of a Timmy, it's an 8/8 body for 8, which is great, mate. Your life total can't change. You can't pay any amount of life except for 0. You can't gain or lose life. You can combine this with Madcap skills if you're not really a Timmy, and just having a combo-y synergistic deck. I just like Platinum Empyrean and Platinum Angel just in the Tron deck. Just get up to 7 colorless mana and play either of these, and your opponent can just concede that way. So that's it for top 10. Is there any I missed? There was a couple of honorable mentions I was thinking of. There's Darksteel Forge, is 9 colorless. Your artifacts have indestructible. I like Chromis Memorial more than Darksteel's Forge, but we'll give Darksteel Forge an honorable mention. Thanks for watching. What? Wall of Ice Cream found a way to make money? That's right. You can help your favorite YouTuber, your third favorite YouTuber, by getting a month of Humble Bundle and referencing me with this reference code, or going to Hulu and buying 0 months of Hulu, or going to G2A and checking out that website. I have a reference link right there on the screen. So just go, and I can get a couple of bucks, and it pays for these cool things I have, like a Yeti microphone that I can't really afford. So go for it. Help your third favorite streamer.